live on my side.
Yes, it should be live now.
Do you see me
amazing.
going live? It said connect streaming software to go live.
I don't know.
Is this
Joan, are
live?
you seeing it now?
Are we live?
Do you see me?
Yeah, we are live on Patty.
Live.
Hello.
Hey. Great. We're live here from Kona, Hawaii. My name is Mike. I work with Patty Ware. We've been on a trip here with our very good friends and partners, Neuro. We're going to share a little bit about our diving journeys, a bit about business journeys, and what it means to be good partners to make a social impact, to protect the oceans and conserve sharks and wildlife and that kind of thing. I'd like to introduce you to Matt and to Ryan, but I'll let Matt say a little bit about himself.
Yeah, good to be here. My name's Matt Tilley. I'm the Director of Partnerships for Neuro. And yeah, we've had the last 3 days here in Kona diving together, and it's been a blast.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Ryan. I'm one of the co-founders of Neuro. It's been an absolute blast being here in Kona with the Patty Aware team and Patty, just to raise awareness with everything that's going on with conservation. So yeah, thanks for having us, Mike.
Awesome to have you guys here. Ryan, tell us a bit about Neuro. Let's say one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. A couple of young guys making big impact, doing great business. Tell what's the Neuro story, man?
Yeah, I mean, Neuro story starts with me and Kent back in the day. He was my best friend from college. We were, tired of taking supplements in pill form. We were tired of taking energy drinks and figured out that there must be a better way of taking supplements. And it all started actually on a scuba diving trip out in Catalina when we were getting our open water. This was back in 2013, so 12 years ago. The idea really spawned of how can we make supplementation like energy and focus more accessible? So we launched Neuro. This is our 10th year now actually being out in the market. And like you said, we're one of the fastest growing brands on Inc. magazine. And thanks to Patty, it gave us the idea for really creating this product. And like I said, Matt's here, who's our Director of Partnerships. This collaboration with Patty is really special because it's really where it all started.
Yeah. No, you guys are such a great partners, proper partners as well. When we talk in an open, honest way, we share ideas, we come up with cool initiatives and do it together. Yeah. Instead of us coming to you telling what we want to do and vice versa. It's what can we do together? How can we grow this together? How do we make a big impact as partners instead of just coming knocking on your door for money and never hearing from us again.
This has been the best partnership. It's amazing to see, we're raising money we have these really cool limited edition tins over here that my co-founder and our team designed, but this one's a really cool one with a whale shark and it kind of gives you a little bit of messaging on where these funds are going, but you guys know best which dive shops, which conservation efforts are important, and for us to be able to support that, it's a dream. It makes our job really easy.
Excellent. Yeah, no, it's so good. And Matt, tell us a bit about yourself. What's your role in your head of partnerships?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have a really fun role because I get to do things like this. But for me and for the team, we try to look for partners that obviously share values like we do. And obviously for Patty and Neuro, ocean conservation, awareness, getting people involved in their communities that love the ocean. That speaks volumes, and that's also, the foundation of the idea of Neuro for Ryan and Ken. And so when we find partners who have that same moral and those same kind of ethics that we do, we look to do something great. And this is one of those times that we've had fun and we get to create this product and give back. And for us, that's a beautiful partnership, and that's what we try to do time and time again. It's amazing. And so we've been diving for the last 3 days. We were doing 2 dives a day, pretty epic diving. But I'd love for I'll let you guys go first. Maybe share. Ryan, you can go first. You get first pull. What was your favorite of the 6, and what was the coolest thing?
I mean, we're here in Kona, Hawaii, and it's the mecca for manta rays. Manta rays night diving is one of the most iconic places. This is one of the best places in the world to do it. So that's obviously a very special highlight. But just right here off the coast of Kona, there's so much marine life. I think Jeff and Terry from Jack's Diving Locker said that there's 80 species just in this 1 mile radius on the coast, which is insane to think about. And we saw some sharks yesterday as well. And Mike, I would love to for you to tell us a little bit more about the shark and then ray consensus and all that's going on. But yeah, that was the highlight for me, was the man rays. We got some epic footage that we can't wait to share with you guys too.
Absolutely.
Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, we went to a place called Touch of Grey yesterday, and it was just one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever seen. And, you know, it was so rich with so many species, but obviously we saw so many sharks, so many gray sharks, and of all sizes too. And I think that was just,
there's some
really
cool, tiny ones.
Yeah, like little
less than a
babies,
foot tall.
and then we had, you know, one that was maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 foot long, you know, and it was just so cool to see them so kind of alive and thriving in that area, right? And that was just, yeah, it was just memorable. It'll stick with me for forever. And but yeah, I think that was my favorite. But we had amazing dives every time, and I think Jack's diving locker did such a great job showing us places that, you know, were thriving, and they really set us up for success, I think, as well. And we're great partners this weekend. So yeah, big shout out to them.
Yeah, no, the diving was amazing. For me, one of my favorite things that I like as well, and a bit of a contrast, because you see a lot of stuff. It's not just the big stuff. Yeah. I'm very proud of finding a frogfish, just so everyone out there knows. I found a frogfish, which is super cool. They're one of my favorites with their little walkie legs. So it's not just the big stuff. Yeah, right. It's totally the small stuff. There's some nudibranchs, some
a lot
turtles.
of big puffers.
Yeah,
a lot of really big puffer fish.
Yeah. No, so it's a whole. You get the whole package.
So a little baby octopus. On the night dive, it was like this big, and it was all this huge mantis going around, and then there's just this little guy just like kind of in the rocks.
Yeah, flounder swimming across. So cool. Hey you guys. Yeah.
It's a reminder that, you know, we're visitors in their home, right? Like scuba diving just gives you this gateway to be able to be visitors in the ocean, and it's, you know, I think one analogy that someone gave me, it's like when you're scuba diving, you actually have the opportunity to see a manta ray or a shark. It's like, you know, there's no cages in the ocean, right? Like we get to see them in their element, and we just try to be as not destructive as possible to kind of really, you know, enjoy like their day-to-day life. It's really cool.
Yeah. No, and that takes me on to, prior to the first dive, we had the chance to go through the PADI shark conservation specialty. I'm sure many people out there know PADI's got a lot of specialties, a lot of opportunity to learn more, deepen your knowledge. We're launching a shark and ray sensor specialty in early 2026. So we touched on a bunch of stuff around that, and the Neuro crew was part of our beta testing on the platform, going through the information that includes rays as well as sharks. You know, for two very important pelagic species, or even not even pelagic, just local species as well, that need protections. So it'd be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts on what was it like going through the specialty, getting that knowledge, and learning more about, you know, where PADI Aware is going and where conservation is going for divers.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that stood out for me going through the course together was just all the different conversations that the course kind of created. You know, and it was kind of I saw it as this way to introduce people to questions about things that they just might not understand fully or not know about at all. And it was just so cool to see where all these organic conversations led about, you know, what makes sharks so special, what makes them, you know, so unique, and also, you know, why do we want to protect them? And it just kind of spun off into all these different kind of conversations that were questions that I hadn't even thought about. And I think like that would be, for me, like the beauty of that course is it really gives people a chance to ask questions and educate themselves and have that dialogue that I think is so important for people that, you know, maybe, you know, either are in the ocean all the time and they want to talk about the things they see, but also for people that maybe don't have the chance to be in the ocean and also understand why it's important to really champion, you know, the ocean and champion the preservation of these species. So I think for me, that was like the biggest takeaway of the course, just the conversations that it created.
I think one thing that you brought up is like citizen science, right? Like all of us can help contribute to like this ever growing pool of knowledge. And I think with knowledge, you start to understand a little bit more the importance of the ecosystem, like demystifying a lot of myths that people have about sharks or misconceptions. Same thing with rays. And I think the citizen science piece, if you could speak a little bit more about that, Mike, about what we can all do to make a small contribution for everybody.
Yeah, super important. And I think that's really is one of the key value adds that Paddy Aware brings to the dive community globally is the promotion of citizen science. We've got our Aware specialty program where we just talk generally about how to be a good conservationist, how to be do things to ensure you have impact on the ground. But then we've got like the real more deep citizen science programs like our Dive Against Debris program, where you dive with purpose and you take plastic out of the ocean, you record it on our community action portal, our app. Please download the Paddy Aware app.
When does that come out, by the way?
It's currently out without the Shark and Ray census, but you can download it now on either the Android store or the Apple store. You can participate in the Adopt the Blue program and the Dive Against Debris programs, two of our current existing citizen science projects. Because Paddy Aware, we're the eyes and ears of the dive community. We try and be the eyes and ears of the dive community. We want to give divers the opportunity to dive with impact, dive with purpose. But also, if someone's got a problem out there in a dive center or in a diving community, try and find solutions and help promote those conservation messages. Our team engages at UN level and that kind of stuff to push policy and everything as well. But we've got we've got like 30 million divers, 7,000 dive shops. Every day there's thousands and thousands of people underwater seeing stuff, and I'm sure everyone watching is a diver or is very interested in becoming a diver. And when you go down there and you see the stuff and you come up, and if you're feeling depressed, it's like, wow, what do I do? Check out Paddy Aware, see if there's stuff that we're working on already. A lot of the dive centers have their own bespoke specialty courses as well through Paddy, and they might have like a humpback specialty or some other kind of thing like that. So there's a lot of education materials. A lot of dive shops are driving this change, and divers are, we're an unreleased force for good as far as citizen science goes. And the Shark and Ray census in particular, where we're hoping to be a driving force for objective data and objective information, because we rely a lot on industrial interests for shark numbers and that kind of stuff. And we're at the whim of the fishing industry to say they're catching this or they're catching that, and they're not all bad players by any stretch, but we're completely objective in our attention.
I think one thing that stood out to me was like looking at the critically endangered list, and 41% of shark species out there, there's just not enough data out there, right? And so where can citizen science play a role in that to be able, like you said, 30 million divers, that's an insane number to think about, and 6,000 to 7,000 dive shops all around the world. That stuff can add up very quickly if you're using the app, and all of a sudden you have all this influx of data to kind of track all of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're mobilizing the community, right? And you're getting people further engaged into something that they probably are doing all the time and love. And now you're adding another layer of, oh my gosh, I came up and I saw this hook in the shark, and you talk about it, and then now you can kind of, like you said, track it, put it in a database, and really record those things so that we can get proper data and more data, and hopefully start to send that out to the masses and really mobilize more people that maybe aren't even divers to put action behind these efforts. So I think it's massive.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be a diver. It could be someone on their morning swim in the ocean that's a passionate shark conservationist that downloads the app and has it on when they get back to the beach. They're drying off. They're like, oh, I saw a couple of right white reef sharks, or saw a bull shark or something like that. That information is helps inform decisions, helps inform policies. And also, if you don't see stuff, this is the other thing that's super important for our community to know, that if you go and do a citizen science dive and you don't see anything, it doesn't mean you shouldn't record it. You should let us know if the sharks are moving away and we're not hearing about it, or no one knows about it. It's important to say, I've been diving here for 5 years. There used to be a lot of white tip reef sharks. They're not here anymore now. The gray reef sharks have moved in. And then the academia and the science people can take that information and say, that's interesting. What can we do? What can we do about that? Super, super important stuff to do. And diving with purpose. I think many of us have been diving for a long time. Not all of us. But sometimes it's like, what's something new, what's something a little bit different that we can do,
That's awesome.
and it gives you that something on Saturday morning, I'm going to go and do a dive against debris once a month, or do a shark and ray census and that kind of stuff. So I encourage everyone.
Yeah.
Michelle,
There's a comment from Michelle. What is the app called again? So
it's the Paddy Aware app. It should show up on either of the app stores that you're working on. You'll need to get if you have a Paddy sign on already, you should be able to use your Paddy sign on. If you're using the Paddy website or the Paddy app to log your dives or anything like that, it should pretty much be a nice and easy flow to log on to the Aware app.
I love having like all the apps now, like the Paddy app mainly to like log dives, and now this too to like engage. It's just like, for me, like when we were on the boat, I was like logging things because it was just so easy and convenient and like fresh. You know? And I think that's so cool that there's this ability now to have,
instead of a paper logbook, now you can just do it on the app, and it just makes it so much easier.
In between dives or something,
Fast.
it's still fresh in your mind, and you can really write everything down. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, my first logbook, like 20 years ago.
Log.
It's all wet and damp and all crumbled and stuff. We don't always keep them as dry as we should. So yes, that's another great one. Yeah, the Paddy app also super useful. Digitizing stuff. It makes it easier for us all.
So I know you guys have 6,000 to 7,000 Paddy, licensed dive shops around the world. Like, is there a plan in the future to have like a Paddy Aware type certification where like there's citizen science that's being promoted within those dive shops?
They already can do that.
Cool.
Yeah. So we've got a program. We've got Adopt the Blue. All of the Paddy Aware, all of the Paddy dive shops can adopt the Blue. Essentially, adopt a local dive site. And call it your own, and do citizen science dives at that dive site on a regular basis. All of the Paddy Aware specialties, as a dive instructor, any dive instructor can teach those specialties.
Awesome.
So they have to talk to the regional people within the Paddy structure to make sure everything is lined up. But yeah, all of our instructors, so all of the 130,000 pros that we've got out there can teach most of the Paddy Aware specialties.
Cool.
A lot of the dive centers are 100% aware. They financially support Paddy Aware as well as the standards that we're running there. I mean, I think it's a uniqueness of Paddy as well, is that conservation is in the DNA of the organization, and has been for a long time. And I think it will continue to deepen that conservation element to the organization going forward, because I'm quite new to Paddy Aware, but I've been a diver for over 20 years and a dive instructor for 7 or 8 years now. Every time I talk to any fellow dive instructors or dive people, we really care about the ocean. It means a lot to us to protect it, selfishly sometimes, but also we think of the future generations as well, right? It's like, if there's, could you imagine a world where your kids don't have access to coral reefs or to shark species and that kind of stuff? It's not something we want to let happen. So and
obviously you have these specialty courses for Paddy Aware that people can do. Are there other ways like people can get engaged with Paddy Aware or Paddy in general? Like, what are some things that you would recommend people to research or participate in?
Or even taking a step back, like, what is Paddy Aware's nonprofit arm of Paddy? Like, how did that come about?
Paddy Aware, we used to be called Project Aware. Forgive me for my potentially superficial historical reflections, because I haven't been around that long. But when I got certified in 2005, I paid my $5 for the Project Aware dive card, and you get like a dolphin card or a shark card and all that. I still got that back in my place. So we were officially registered around 1992, but it was pushed by the founders of Paddy. They wanted us to be more than just a dive and education agency. They knew the reality on the ground as well, and all of that. They see what's going on, and they hear from the dive professionals and the divers, like, we need to do more. We're seeing this stuff happen. So we were founded in the early 90s, been around for over 30 years. Sharks have always been a center point for the mission of Paddy Aware. Dive Against Debris was probably the bigger technical undertaking that we rolled out around 10 or 15 years ago, which really integrated data gathering and that kind of thing into the system. People should, by all means, engage with the dive community, but take the specialties. But also, you can become a torchbearer, join us, and make a commitment to be an advocate for the ocean. Financially, we always need donations. We all know money's super important when it comes to any kind of nonprofit work. So if you have the wherewithal to make a donation, make a monthly donation, make a one-time donation, get in touch, check out the website, contact me, Mike McTiernan. You can Google me and find me on the Paddy Weir system, I'm sure.
Nice, yeah.
I won't give you my phone number, but get in touch with me if you're thinking of something a bit bigger or a bit more, different. Like the Neuro partnership is different, right?
Everything makes a small difference, right? Like a tiny donation here and there, it's like 50 cents or $1, it adds up. And I think what's cool is that we get to find out that some of these donations to Paddy Weir help doing, some coral reef studies. And like, if you could talk about some of that, impact would be huge.
So we've got a community grants program. It's currently open now. We're
and that's open to dive centers,
mostly to dive centers, dive professionals. We want it to be connected to our Adopt the Blue program, so you need to be accessible to the Adopt the Blue. But we really want it to be grassroots, kind of community-based divers who are doing a variety of stuff. It could be a coral restoration project. It could be teaching locals on how to do conservation. It could be marine protected area project. I mean, there's a lot of different things that need to be done. And really, the dive professionals on the ground, they know, they can see, right? If you're diving in Papua New Guinea and you're at the dive center and you see something going on, you're the only one who might be aware of it,
right,
in that deep detail. So we are a global organization. We've got dive centers and partners all around the world, and that's a big part of what we do is finding resources, mobilizing resources to go directly to the source. And we talk about local,
the ground level.
Local action for global impact, and it all builds up. We're going through the grant cycle now. It's an annual program where part of my role is to increase the capacity around that as far as financial resources go. And each of the grantees, it's around $10,000 to do a training program or a restoration program or whatever the case may be. So it's not like we're throwing around big buckets of cash, but that's quite an impactful grant for a lot of these guys on the ground there. So check out our website. There's a lot of case studies and all that kind of stuff.
And people just apply on Paddy.
There's a process. So there's like an eligibility criteria, a vetting process, and all of that kind of thing. And it is quite competitive. We get a lot of applications. So we try and find the ones that we think make the most sense for our strategy, which is a lot around plastics and sharks and marine protected areas. So really wanted to align in those pieces as well.
Awesome. It's amazing. I mean, more reason for people to get engaged, right? And then you can access people more, can access grants more and more, right? If you have those abilities and funds. So
absolutely. And a lot of the communities, that where this work happens, there's not accessible to support or funding or anything. So I know a lot of dive shops just do it themselves as volunteers and all of this kind of stuff as well. So we just want to kind of help them, give them a leg up. So super important work, conservation work. That's what we're here for, but also diving work as well. I'll be super interested to hear a little bit about what's your favorite dive. I mean, we already talked about one. I think probably one of your favorites. Have you had any other dive adventures around the world?
Oh man, a few. We went whale shark diving out in Mexico, which was amazing. But I think Kona is just such a special place. Like, being able to see sharks, dolphins, manta rays, turtles all in like one day is incredible. So this Kona is a very special place, and so much so that Matt lives here.
Yes.
I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest factors of living here and wanting to be here is just the ocean and what it has to offer, and then being when you're stationed somewhere that has all these amazing things in places, it makes you want to get more ingrained in the community to help protect it, right? And I think that's something that's really special here in Kona, and I'm sure all over the world where there's obviously amazing places to go dive is you have this really special connection to the community there, and so many people want to protect it and want to be advocates for it, and that feels really special to be a part of. That was an easy one for me. I mean,
I get these questions all the time. Like we just posted some of that footage from the manta ray night dive, and people are like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" But I'm scared of the ocean. Like, what would you say to somebody out of the 30 million registered divers how do we get that to 100 million, 300 million people who are diving and then becoming advocates of the ocean, seeing it firsthand? Like, what would be some words of encouragement to get somebody out in the water, at least to try it?
Yeah, I mean, I always one thing I like to say to people is, like, it's the closest you're going to get to becoming an astronaut on your own planet, right? It's like a whole other world down there.
You're weightless, completely weightless.
Yeah.
If that's not a selling point, I don't know what
You
is.
feel like you're flying.
You're completely weightless and you're floating, just suspended in the air, but in water.
Yeah, and it's 4 dimensions. You suddenly find yourself in this 4-dimensional reality where you can turn and go anywhere you want.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that for me is a big one. It's like, I would love to be an astronaut, but I'm a little bit too old for that now.
Being able to breathe underwater too.
Yeah, it's incredible. And but there's people have got, some people might be a little bit scared of certain things. I mean, I would say your PADI instructor is probably would have experienced some of the issues that you might think you have, and you might not have any issues as well. We're well trained. We go through a pretty rigorous process to get certified under the PADI guidelines. So if you've got a problem with breathing out through your nose or clearing your mask and all these kind of things, we're going to be there to help you. Yeah, and we know tricks and tips and that kind of stuff because we worked with a lot of people before. And some people jump in the water with dive gear on and off they go, and you're like, wow, that person's just total natural. Some not so much. I mean, even myself, when I got certified, I really battled with breathing with my mask off. It was really hard for me. But my instructor gave me some tips, gave me some advice. And then I worked on it with him, and the next day when it came to do the skills, was able to do it. And so just got to push yourself from that personal side. Trust in find an instructor you trust, because you don't always vibe with the people, every single person, and that's not a bad thing. If I was going to work for someone on a course and they're like, actually, you're not my kind of guy, I want someone who's a bit more 1, 2, 3, that's fine. And then from the macro side, if you've got concerns about the wildlife or anything, I mean, I would just say the sharks don't see us as food. We're not a food source. We're very noisy and very uncoordinated looking.
Yeah. I think sharks get scared of the bubbles that you blow out too. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool to touch on that too. I think, maybe it's part of the breathing underwater or just being, in a completely different element. But I think a lot of people are also scared of just what's down there, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
And, do you have any specific advice for that? If people are worried about seeing a shark or seeing something larger, and I think people are scared of that. But is there ways that you talk people through that?
Yeah, I mean, I just say that because of if you look at a photo of a diver and look at a photo of a prey fish from a shark, not a lot of looking the same going on there, right?
Yeah.
And sharks are not mindless attack machines. They're an animal in the wild, so you should be careful at all times. But they're not just out there biting stuff for no good reason. So I would say just always look. Eye contact is important when it comes to any predator on land and on underwater as well. Maintain your eye contact. If you do encounter something, that you should have a dive instructor or a dive master or a dive guide with you who should have briefed you on the protocols. Don't grab things. If you are diving with sharks, don't think, I want to see what they feel like, because there's a good chance, well, there's not a good chance, there is a chance that they might just spin around and be like, hey, leave me alone, pop. And it's, you don't want to be finger shopping at the bottom of the sea. So just be really careful, just keep your distance, be respectful. And, there's less than a dozen shark attacks every year. So it's not like
there's that more people die from taking selfies than shark attacks
by quite a number of
there's that common misconception that so much of us people have,
which I think is so important for what you're all doing, especially in this specialty course. The shark is creating conversations that are about positivity around sharks, and that hopefully then bleeding into the masses of changing the narrative of them being these scary attacking machines, which they're not. They're really vulnerable, and we're probably we're much scarier to them than they are to us, right? We're the ones messing with their livelihoods and their environment. So having that education piece, I feel like, is so important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we kill millions of sharks a year, and for bycatch, that's unintended catch. A lot of it gets thrown back overboard, wasted. Once you pull them up, the animals out of the water, the chances of them coming back in any healthy kind of way once they go back is pretty slim. So yeah, that's we're the
we need
dangerous
that, and
ones.
sharks are so important for the balance of the ocean.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, you think that there's a hierarchy to all of this stuff, right? And there's a balance, and it's important to maintain that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's we see if you remove sharks and predatory species, then other species down the food chain take over. They overgraze or consume the resources, and then you get bleaching or you get algae blooms and all this kind of stuff because the sharks aren't there to keep the balance.
Yeah. And that conversation is just so important to have, right? And especially when you're in communities that have been living in those areas for generations, talking to people and hearing those stories. I know like here, you talk to people who are born and raised and their family's been here for generations, and you hear stories about them being like, how many more sharks or other species there used to be, right? And having that awareness is super important to have those conversations, right?
Yeah.
That things have changed, and we need to be better about protection so that we can hopefully let them rebound again,
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And it's important that we do what we can to conserve all of the species in the ocean and on land as well. Obviously, we're conservationists at heart. So I'd also be quite interested to talk for you, Ryan, to talk a little bit about what do we do together with, what does Patty Aware do together with Neuro? What excites you about the partnership and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, just these little cool tins that our team designs. Kent, my co-founder, designed these, and we got a couple ones. They're just small little collectible tins that are so unique, and we know that you guys are doing some incredible work working firsthand with these dive shops that are you guys know what type of work needs to be done, so it makes that partnership seem very seamless. And I think this is volume 3 of the new whale shark one. We have another volume 4 one coming out. It's just highlighting the different species out there, and it's been just fun to be able to connect and bond over this, right? Like we're citizens of the ocean. We want to help support this, and I don't know any other organization that is doing something like on that ground level, and seeing it firsthand, it's amazing.
And so the folks listening and watching, go out and buy a Neuro gum, but tell us a bit about the product as well.
Yeah, we created a functional supplement. So our energy and focus gum and mint, it's like one piece of gum or mint, it's like half a cup of coffee. So especially on a dive boat in the sun, you can get pretty tired. Matt's holding a piece up right now. So one piece is like half a cup of coffee. No sugar. You might have seen us on TikTok. We were the fastest growing brand on TikTok last year. Speaking of sharks, we did Shark Tank 6 years ago, which is pretty cool. So if you guys, anybody listening, are fans of Shark Tank, we had a cool episode come out about 6 years ago now. And it's like a full circle moment, being able to create these products. I think, Mike, you're chewing a piece of Neuro gum right now. Instead of a cup of coffee or energy drink, you just pop a piece of gum, freshen your breath, no sugar. We have a sleep product. We have a calm product that's out in Whole Foods. So basically anything that's like a product line, we just try to make it more approachable and accessible, like gum and mints. And I think similar to like scuba diving, it's like you make ocean discovery accessible and approachable. And I think anybody who's listening, I'm sure you guys are maybe divers, but I have so many friends out there that are intimidated, and I'm just trying to get them out in the water. And so many times people get in and they're like, wow, I didn't even know that this was possible. So I mean, that was the same for me.
It's life-changing.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I think my goal with Patty is getting that 30 million scuba diver member up over time. And we're that's going to be, a huge priority for us of how do we educate and how do we get people talking about diving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great product. So by all means, we should check it out. We've got. Are you going to join us?
I could.
You got a special visitor.
We might do a little bit of
special guest.
Yeah, this is Kent. Tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Kent. I'm the other co-founder with Ryan that on a scuba diving trip. I'm sure I don't want to
go ahead,
everyone like myself, but we came up with this product during a scuba diving trip. So this is a very special moment for us. We're in Hawaii, of all places. Very beautiful backdrop, very beautiful place to commemorate this partnership.
Yes.
And it's absolutely awesome. It's been an absolutely epic few days.
It's been amazing.
Ken,
Cool.
you designed the tins.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes,
Oh man,
the
okay,
Mural.
okay. We're getting into
Yeah.
the juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, the shark and ray consensus that all of us are very passionate about. One of the two initiatives that Patty Aware is focused on, alongside Divers Against Debris. There was a moment earlier this year where we realized that it was the 50th anniversary of Jaws. It was the shark and ray census that we wanted to commemorate. There was this necessity to bring awareness to the endangered, critically endangered, threatened shark species that make up the vast population of shark species and ray species in the world. And to be able to do so, we found a 3,000 square foot wall in San Diego. And my team and I, over a course of a week, painted this mural and then ended up going with Mike and the rest of the team, diving with leopard sharks down in the San Diego harbor, which was a really beautiful experience that not only brought awareness to the sharks, but allowed us and the painting team that I was with to experience and really dissolve the idea that sharks are, man eaters, like these things that perhaps were pushed on to us by media. So, dove with probably like 100 plus sharks.
Yeah,
that day. It was absolutely beautiful.
Wow, it's amazing.
And had an absolutely amazing time. And then yesterday, we saw like, I think 30 something gray reef sharks.
Yeah.
So
A couple of pups and
Some big
big
ones.
ones.
in their ecosystem, just being one with them.
Yeah.
And so and I know I deviated from talking about the tin and the artwork, but it all comes together. It was a way of visually expressing our love for sharks and being able to live in the same ecosystem with them.
Yeah. No, I think that dive trip in San Diego, Kent, was really cool because a few of the guys that you were working with hadn't ever had that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So-
some of them have never even put on a wetsuit before.
Yeah. So I mean, as a friend of those guys, you're out there promoting this to them. I'd be interested to get some of your thoughts on what it was like to have a group of folks coming to you and being like, what are we doing? How was the experience for you?
Well, it's funny because at the very beginning of the project, when we started painting, they knew that the shark diving was coming up.
Okay.
And there was a sense of fear, like many of us have had.
Yeah.
A sense of fear that they're like, oh my God, we're diving with sharks. And then, half these guys can't swim either.
Mm-hmm.
So they're paddling around in their wetsuits. And finally, on that last day, after we finished the mural, we get in the water and none of them wanted to get out. It was such like a beautiful experience with these leopard sharks swimming underneath us. And, they were trying to chase them around. Half of them, they're all artists. So they, want to capture it with their cameras as much as possible. Also.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, again, just
experiencing it firsthand, right? Destigmatizes.
It's life-changing when you get to interact.
Completely dissolving that concept that sharks, especially all sharks, right, are these dangerous creatures. And if anything, we felt safer being with them in the water, knowing that we have these companions to be able to swim with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was great. And if anyone is in San Diego, Southern California, you can check it out. I'm sure. I don't know. Do you know the address?
It's on La Jolla Cove. So it's a
Jolla
little. If you look up Leopard Shark Sanctuary, La Jolla, LAJOLLA, you should be able to find it pretty easily. Everyone should do it. I think it's one of those things everyone should do if you are in Southern California.
Yeah, but I was also thinking checking out your mural.
Oh, and the mural also.
Yeah, check out the mural. It's super cool.
If you are in Pacific Beach, which is in San Diego, the best address I could give you is there's a burrito spot called Santana's. It's right across the street from Santana's in Pacific Beach.
There you go.
Get a burrito. Go look at the mural.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. And we will be doing an activation with Kent's mural at the end of the year. We're going to be running a program. We've got a very cool design on a hoodie. You can see I'm wearing a hoodie where Patty wears. Pretty famous for our hoodies. There's the artwork on the screen.
Yeah.
We have an end of year shark fundraising appeal. We're setting out to raise around $150,000 from our network to help us with the shark and ray census to roll it out and really expand it over the coming years. And the cool thing is you'll get a nice hoodie with the whale shark motif
There you go.
on the back if you donate to support us. So keep your eye out for that when it comes out in the next month. Would be great to get your support on that. And yeah, I think the only other thing from my side is a little bit about what are some tips, some conservation tips that you guys would give to people out there to help preserve sharks, preserve the ocean environment based on your experience as divers?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost is getting out there, right, and being out in the ocean or just anywhere that you interact with these species or wild animals in general, and then say something, right? If you see something, say something. And maybe that's because you don't know what you saw, and maybe it's you don't know how to interact with what you saw, and that's okay. Just make sure you talk about it and say something, and then maybe next time you're educated on how to deal with that. And I think also something simple, if you're out in the water, if you see trash or something like that, that's a really easy thing to interact with. But I think the biggest thing is to see something and say something.
Yeah.
I think that just the reminder is like, hey, sharks, rays, everything else in the ocean, it's their home, and we're just visitors, and just being mindful of that. Try not to disrupt them. And sharks are a lot of time afraid of us, right? Like, sometimes they're sleeping, your sharks are sleeping. Sometimes you don't want to mess up their sleep cycle. So just being really mindful of that's a good reminder.
And being a conscious consumer is massive. Yeah. There are a lot of products out there that use shark oil products that I learned about recently, like squalene. It's made out of shark oil. And as long as we start becoming conscious about the ingredients that we're putting onto our bodies into these products, then we can start saving the sharks on a whole nother manufacturing consumer level.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
love the sharks. Go dive with them. And then
I didn't know
buy
about
better
that.
products.
Yeah, like some beauty products use like shark oil, which is crazy to think about. And now there's synthetic forms that are just from like algae or plants that are accomplish the exact same thing. So being a like you said, a conscious consumer is really important.
And we all learn this during the course.
Right?
And so that's like
that's
the
shark
beautiful thing. Like, all
rig.
these things is because we've been talking about it the last 3 days.
Yeah,
right?
and the course is it's
awesome.
it's fun. You learn about it, and it makes passing that part really easy. And like you said, most dive centers can then get you that certification. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that's an important message is around the products and this kind of stuff, living a sustainable lifestyle. We partner with a number of other brands that have got sustainable products. I won't go through the list because this is a Neuro gum conversation we're having, but you check us out. I see there's a couple of comments on the chat there from people that are doing businesses that are sustainable. Check out Patty Aware, and you can get in touch with me, and we can build a network. I mean, these guys are open people as well. They care about new ideas, new things, and new sustainable actions that are getting out there. We obviously care deeply about that as Patty Aware. So we want to build a family and build a community around those values and help one another, and all rise up together and all rise up with the message of conservation, saving the seas for the future generations, and all of that super important work.
Absolutely.
We're all on the same mission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's one of the cool things that we've been working together in some ways, but I only met Ken briefly. He didn't even know who I was. He's like, "What's this weird?"
Yeah, why is he showing up?
And then we go diving together for like a few days, and like it just builds community. Diving builds community. If you're someone who's interested in diving, and you're like, "Oh, but I don't have any friends." Trust me, you will have friends.
You'll meet a lot of cool people on the boat.
Yeah.
Sure.
Quick friends.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go on a dive trip the first morning, everyone is like a little bit sheepish, looking around. Oh, who are these characters? Who's this? Who's that? You go down underwater together for an hour, and you come back up, and you just can't stop talking.
Maximum stoke.
Yeah. No, and then you do your next dive, and then after that, it's like, where are we going to go for lunch? Where are we going to go for dinner? Hey, do you guys fancy a beer? Why don't we go and get pizza? How long are you in town for? And then I've got friends all around the world just from diving, and they're the best people as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So if you're feeling lonely, feeling blue, jump in the blue, get certified, become a diver. Would love to see you down there. Last words from you guys.
Go dive with some sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Get out
Get
there.
out there.
Get that
Yeah.
census. Get that done. Check out and download the Patio Wear app. I think
Yeah.
we were playing around with it, just uploading some photos, just taking down some notes, because just think about it as your like daily blog journal. Like there'll be so many dives that you do hopefully in the future that you're gonna want to remember those moments.
The app is a lot better now.
Yeah.
So give them credit.
Yeah,
The app is a lot better now.
yeah, we've done a lot of troubleshooting and fixing the infrastructure. Technology is what technology is, right? It's,
Yeah,
it's like 3 years later. It's
So
out.
don't be afraid to jump back in like I was.
Yeah, that's a
Check
good
it out.
that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. So guys, thanks a lot. I want to say the last thing in closing from my side, please go online, make a donation if you can, register, support, become a torchbearer, and super important, check out the tin.
Yeah.
Remember that if you buy one of these things, that's a donation to Patty Wear,
Yeah.
because these guys don't take any. Whatever you pay $6 for this, they
They're
give us
reusable little
$6.
tins too, and cool little artwork. So we got a couple. We got a whale shark one. We got a manta ray one, which is super special. So yeah, it's our
Check
way
them
of
out.
giving out back, and check out Neurogum too. And thanks again so much with Patio Wear for all that you guys do.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's been an awesome few
Thank
days.
you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone out there.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the conversation we had. Reach out, get in touch. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.